Welcome back to another episode of Ads for Lunch, the podcast where real advertising professionals tell you about ads they really like. So get ready to sink your teeth into some of the most compelling, creative, surprising ad campaigns in market right now. Served up fresh by people who aren't just sharing these ads, they're betting their lunch on it. That's right, there are plenty of awards in our industry, but the winner of today's episode gets the most coveted one, free lunch. So let me take a quick second to thank our sponsors. And now let me introduce our guests. Today, I'm joined by Kathy Oldaker, Melissa Mader, and Michael Pluszczynski. Kathy, I'll start with you. Please tell us, what are you betting your lunch on today?
Well, Mark, as the media director, I tend to look at ad campaigns through a slightly different lens as some other folks. I tend to look more at how we're connecting with audiences. How do we find them? How are we connecting with their behaviors with content consumption? I wonder sometimes when I'm watching television, why did they buy this show? Or why do they think this content would resonate well? Or applauding them for doing so. I also happen to love TV. So it's not surprising that I would pick a TV campaign to bet my lunch on. So over the past few years, TV has been trending towards what's old is new again. Think Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will and Grace, The Connors. All of them are doing these reboots and these reconnections with current audiences. And I've also noticed during this pandemic that TV is also becoming more of a focus of the family, whereas in recent past, we've all kind of watched TV on our own, right? We all watch TV through streaming or through video on demand. It's become very individualized. But this whole pandemic has caused people to watch TV together again. And lastly, during this time, TV and other legacy media has really had this resurgence where people are watching more legacy programming. Despite the success of TV in recent times, they're facing a very real problem, and that's content. A lot of the spring production schedules were cut short or canceled altogether, causing some of these shows not to be able to even finish out this season, let alone film for the summer or next season. Additionally, a lot of advertisers really kind of want to stay away from some of the content that's out there, right? They don't want to be aligned with talk about disease and death, economic pressures on families. So it's been a little bit of a struggle for TV stations to figure out what to do. So that's why the campaign that I'm betting my lunch on is the CBS Sunday Night Movie. I think it was a smart strategic decision that capitalizes on these current TV trends, but also solves the problem of content. And apparently I'm not the only one who thinks so, because NBC Universal is also following suit. They're going to be doing a family movie night. So I think the rest of the networks are going to follow suit.
Drama, action, adventure. Grab your popcorn, gather your family together. Join us all month long for Sunday Night at the Movies on CBS 2. Sunday Night at the Movies is sponsored locally by Raymore and Flanagan. Gather your family together and grab your popcorn. It's time for some heart-pounding action. Join us for this week's Sunday Night at the Movies, Mission Impossible. Meet us on the couch at 8. Sunday Night at the Movies is sponsored locally by Raymore and Flanagan.
That's interesting. I know that what you said is true, where what's old is new again. So it's the reason I stick out every time they release another Transformers movie. I'm like, yeah. I gotta stick this out. So yeah, that's an interesting observation and certainly a lunch-worthy bet. Melissa, what did you think? What was your reaction to that?
I love it. I think that especially with all of us being home, like you were saying, Kathy, we all need that thing to look forward to and that thing to gather together around. And this ad in particular, the way that they're promoting it, I love the nostalgia that they're bringing to it. So it kind of, whether you realize it or not, it kind of brings you back to that time when we all did gather around the TV. So I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it kind of just jumps off the page. I like that kind of basic art style it has too. It's pretty simplistic, but just enough to grab you. And to kind of piggyback off Melissa said, like, what's there to look forward to right now? I mean, there's nothing going on. I'm not going anywhere this weekend. I'm not going out with my friends. So like, I got to have something to look forward to. Maybe a Sunday night movie, watching Mission Impossible with the family. How exciting is that? So I mean, it does give you kind of something, a little perspective, and that nostalgia to hit you back. Now, obviously, I can't reach into the 1970 level of nostalgia for me. Kathy, you're 1 or 2 years older than me on that one. So, but I think, it does kind of resonate, and it probably would hit that older audience a little bit better.
Yeah, the James Bond franchise was a big deal back in the 70s. That was a big night in the Belisario household. And I'm really looking forward to the resurgence of drive-ins this summer if this keeps up. I think that'll be the next advertising platform I'm gonna look into for our clients.
Kathy, way to kick us off. Thank you. Melissa, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat now. What are you betting your lunch on?
I'm betting my lunch on Chewy's latest spot, launching its Pets Bring Us Together campaign. So aside from it having lots of puppies and myself being a very big puppy fan, I think that this latest spot really shows how much Chewy understands its target audience. During this time, obviously, the pets are the real winners. We've been spending a lot more time with them, and there's been plenty of great pet content, and that's something that Chewy is tapping into here with a lot of lightheartedness and a little bit of humor. And in that way, even though it's a similar format that you'll see that we've been seeing the last few weeks, I think it really separates from some of the more somber takes on the current pandemic we're facing. And it's a bit more uplifting. And what's incredible is that the message Pets Bring Us Together is really something that they could use anytime, but obviously it's a lot more fitting right now. And then last but not least, what I love about it is just being a bit of a research and stats nerd. They're really playing into a recent survey that they did that shows that people really consider their pets as part of the family, and they will do anything to make sure that they're fed well, they're taken care of. And I think that even in times like this, that's something that rings true.
Very cool. So just because I myself am not a pet person, I love other people's pets. That's fantastic. What is Chewy? Is that it's like an online place to get your pet stuff?
Yeah, it's a pet supplier. They sell food, treats, toys, all of that. So especially right now, being more of a digital pet supplier, they're in a good spot, and I think that this is a good way for them to get out in front of people and make sure that they know that they get them and they're a source for them to get all their pet supplies right now when it's not as great to go outside.
Got it. Okay, let's take a look.
Chewy, say hi to your friends. Hi, Stella. Has anyone been going on a million walks?
Yeah. Because she knows I'm home and I ain't got nothing to do, it's like, no, you gonna walk me.
She has very specific wagon taste.
Can you guys see it?
She's such a muse.
Potatoes posing too, I like it.
I try to cook.
I've been serenading Scout.
So rude.
Sit. Kiss.
The dog peed on my bed.
Oh.
We got a booty shot. All the time. Cats. I'm really glad that I can see all of y'all.
This is fun. You're on the keyboard. Okay. Oh.
Well, that was another really good one. Certainly another lunch-worthy bet. I love just the hit of optimism that you get when you see so many dogs and cats. And did they sneak in? Was that like an armadillo or a hedgehog at the end there?
I think a hedgehog.
Again, I'm not a pet
Hello.
person, but, yeah, I thought that was cool. I think kind of solves two things. I look at it through the creative lens. And again, you guys hit on this point already, but I think brands are struggling with how do you create content when you can't get together with a traditional crew. So doing the whole thing through Skype is, or Zoom or GoToMeeting, whatever they use, but doing it remote like that is certainly a way to bridge that gap and do it in a way that just totally fits in with the world that people are living in right now. So I thought that was a really good solve. And then I also really like how they didn't slap their logo in until like, I don't know, almost 80% of the way through it. So I know there are hundreds of reasons why you should begin with your logo, like right at the front that says, this is an ad for Chewy. But man, I love it when they don't do that. It kind of brings you along for a story, and then you discover who it is from instead of, building a storyboard that caters to the focus group that checks all the boxes. And at the end, you're left with, without that dopamine hit that you can only get from a hedgehog in a bathtub. So yeah, excellent choice. Michael, how about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. It had a lot of realism to it. It definitely showed like real people with their real pets. And I think that played very nicely into the message. And it was pretty lighthearted, which you don't really see right now. I'll talk about it before I get into my ad, a little bit of my thoughts on that. But a lot of people are kind of shying away from trying to, put a smile on someone's face right now and trying to go in a little too morbid, but I kind of really like that about it. But I'll get a little more into that when I set the stage for my lunch winning ad.
That was foreshadowing in case anybody missed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm about.
How about you, Kathy? What were your thoughts on Chewy?
First of all, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I had not seen that. I will definitely be watching it again because it's amazing. And anyone that knows me knows how much I love pets. And I don't know if you can read my coffee, but it says canines and caffeine make me happy. So that's how I start my day. I agree. I think that pets have really gotten a lot of attention. I think we're all glad. Well, most of us, sorry, Mark. Most of us are glad we have them in our house. I have a little zoo here at my house. And they are part of my family, and I'm very glad they're here. They're really helping me through this. And I think that, to your point, Mark, when you have content that good, a hedgehog swimming in a bathtub, a cat that won't get off your keyboard, I mean, you don't really have to do a whole lot else. Let the animals do the speaking. I think that, I'm probably a little bit biased, but I love that commercial, and it just makes me feel really good. And Chewy's always done a remarkable job of that. I'm a very big fan. So kudos. I liked it a lot.
Great. Okay. Well, Michael, that's going to pass the torch to you, my friend. So please tell us, what are you going to bet your lunch on?
Yeah. So right now you see a lot of ads, and as I was kind of looking through and trying to decide what I wanted to put forth, you see a lot now. It's like the ad starts, it's black and white. There's a slow piano with a voiceover that's like, where are we going? And they're showing, Great Depression images, and, and they're trying to really get on the emotional heartstrings. And at the end, it's like, Klondike bars, we're here for you. It's like, oh, well, okay, come on. Like, what are we doing here? So I like the, our good friend Johnny Budweiser, he dug into his old bag of tricks, kind of pulled up an old ad. I mean, I think everyone's going to remember it, but they kind of put a little quarantine spin on it. And they redid sort of their, what's up? And I thought that was just perfect. And so that is what I'm betting my lunch on, the Budweiser ad that they have re-released with a little quarantine spin on it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Let's take a look. That was an excellent "was up," by the way.
I was practicing quite a bit yesterday.
That was good.
The best part of this defense is their defensive line and their interior.
Hello?
Hey,
who? What's up?
Nothing, B. In quarantine, having a bud. What's up with you?
Nothing. Quarantining, having a bud.
True.
What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
Hello?
What's that?
What's up? Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Dookie! Yo.
What's up?
What's that?
So you okay, B?
I'm good, B. Just quarantining, having a bud. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job of giving me that dopamine hit that frankly, I think we could all use right now. So thanks for bringing that in. I defy you to not laugh when you hear that one really high pitched at the end there. So yeah, it just gets me every time. And I was really wondering where they were going to go with that, and just that simple message of buds checking on buds. It was a nice wrap up to it. What about you, Kathy? What was your reaction to that one?
Yeah, I didn't think it could get better than Chewy, but that is a great campaign. I mean, their marketing is unbelievable, even in the best of times. But I agree with you, Mark. That buds checking in on buds is really resonates with me. I've gotten text messages and Facebook comments and things from people that I haven't talked to in 20 years, just saying, "Hey, how you doing? How's your mom?" And it means a lot. It really does help to stay connected. I think it's a really, really great strategy and a great execution.
Melissa, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, similarly to both of you, I think that buds checking on buds message is so important right now, with mental health really slowly but surely coming into the spotlight as one of the after effects of this whole pandemic. So I think that's incredibly important. But I also, like you, Michael, I just love that it's not somber, and really just bringing you back to reality in a time when you're watching TV or a YouTube video and you might not really want to remember that we're going through this crazy time. It's kind of uplifting and it's funny. And similarly to Kathy's, it has that sense of nostalgia, times that when we all just walked around saying what's up at the mall or at the stores, and times when we weren't stuck inside. So I think that's really important too.
Cool. Yeah, again, looking at it through the creative production lens, you take a spot that's already in the can, you run it through today's computer technology, you can change the mouth, do a quick re-record, and all of a sudden you have content where, you didn't need the crew, you don't need the lights, you don't need the director, you don't need any of that stuff. You still need a lot of experts on the, the other end of a computer to make it look as flawless as they did. But another kind of sneaky solve where they're like, okay, we need to tell America that buds are checking on buds, but we can't do this, can't do that, can't do that. Like all of the normal tools are no longer at your disposal. So I think that's a really good, really good solve. Just again, living in the world that we're in right now. So I feel like you see brands going that way. It's either the way that Chewy took it with, okay, let's just be really raw and organic and forgive the fact that it's all done remotely on webcams, or you find a way that's really savvy with what assets you already have, you've already collected. So yeah, both really good examples of how to stay creative in today's environment. So for those who don't know, or if maybe you're just tuning into the show, everybody is for real betting their lunch money on the ads that they brought in. So I have the unenviable job of choosing a winner. Michael, by the way, thank you for that fruit basket. That was on point. Those pears, man, were.
Hey, I do what I can to win. If I got to play the back channels, I got to play the back channels. I'm not afraid of it.
They were clutch. I think that I tell you, the ad that I'm going to award as a winner today, though, it's just hard to argue with. A script that starts with, hey, hundreds of dogs, right? Hundreds of dogs and cats and pet owners. And I think it's two reasons. One, I think it's that, like, just the spot was a joy to watch. But also it just is such a great time and place to let the world know that you're here, right? So I think you hit this, Melissa, but if you have a dog or a cat or a hedgehog, can you have an armadillo? I'm not sure if that's a thing.
We'll have to look at the legality of it.
Dude, you have to live in the desert.
We can get our lawyers on this one.
It's a new reality show.
It's such a good fit for life right now for people that are pet owners. So I think just to say, hey, this is really important, and have a Zoom meeting with all of your pet friends and just connect and stay connected. And I just thought that was a great way that showed how the dog, what's the expression? The tail wags the dog, but like the dogs led the people together. And I think that's really important. So it was a close race this week. So thank you to all the contestants. But Melissa, congratulations. You're winning Ads for Lunch today.
I knew the moment I saw those dogs, I was done for. I was done. The moment the dogs came up, I just had people screaming, "What's up?" drinking beer into the phone. I knew I was done.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for tuning in, everybody out there. If you want to hit that subscribe button, or if you want to follow Gatesman Agency on social media, you'll not miss any episodes. So we'll see you next time on Ads for Lunch.